Great to have you along for the ride. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Glad to have this man back. Actor, producer, director, great guy, author, manly man. It's Kevin Sorbo. Kevin, how are you? Good to see you.
I'll take the manly man. That's exactly what my book is about. So yeah, it's good to see you too.
I want to talk a lot about the book. It's called The Test of Lionhood. Is it out right now?
Comes out on Friday, September 1st. And it's a
Beautiful.
long line of book from Brave Books, bravebooks.com. Go check it out. There's a lot of good stuff there. And if you subscribe to Freedom Island Book Club right now, you get a book every month. And they're great for kids 12 and under.
I love that Brave Books is doing this. I love that you're working with them. I've got bravebooks.us. I guess .com might get you there too, but bravebooks.us is what we have. Go and get this book. You dare, I think I understand what it's about, are telling boys to grow up and be men.
I know. It's kind of
What's the matter with you? Talk to me about that, because I mean the bottom line is this: they tried to cancel you, it didn't work. I'm gonna. There you go. Let's show it.
Test of Lionhood right there.
Perfect.
Well, it didn't work in terms I kept moving, but Hollywood itself canceled me. But that's okay. They don't owe me anything. I had a great career with them, 2 long-running series, Hercules and Andromeda, and I've shot over 80 movies since. So I'm staying busy. I'm just doing movies in the independent world that Hollywood used to do. You know, movies that have hope and love and laughter and redemption and faith and things like that. So I'm doing just fine. But this is a wonderful book, and it's just really about boys being boys and let girls be girls. Let them decide what they want to do with their lives when they become adults. So let's leave them alone and and it's very important for families to stay together, and that's really what this book is about. It's a call to action to really stay vigilant in what your kids are seeing out there, because you see what Disney and all these other production companies are putting out there, and we've been going after men to not be masculine for decades, but the last 20 years it's just accelerated each year, and it's crazy. I mean, you can see it in movies like Barbie, hugely successful, but what's the movie about? It's about that women don't need men, you don't need families. It's the emasculation of men, and
Yes.
this is a movie about, the book about really being more active with your family and keeping the family unit together. I mean, I say if you eliminate the patriarchy, you're eliminating human race. And the Bible teaches us to honor your father. And if you look at the sitcoms through the decades, they're all like, other than the Cosby Show, ironically, other sitcoms, always the father's kind of fat and dumpy, the mother's kind of hot, the kids, teenagers, and all they do is make fun of dad. And you see that in every movie as well, that dads are stupid and idiotic, and kids learn, they get brainwashed to really look at fathers as sort of the useless part of families. And that's pretty much what the left wants to do.
Get this book. It's called The Test of Lionhood. It is available at bravebooks.us. It comes out this Friday. So, Kevin, I'm confused because it appears to me that Hollywood is a little bit schizophrenic. You're a big old dude. You, as Hercules, obviously you were the manly man, the alpha. One of the biggest stars is The Rock. He's a big, giant, muscle guy. We've got all of these, DC comics and other comics that are turning into live-action movies where big, strong, gigantic, big, rippling muscles, that's the way to go. Yet in society, we're attacking men like with the new Snow White. It's not a love story. It's not about the prince saving the Snow White. Well, of course it is. That's what the entire story is. So there seems to be a split personality. They know they're making money on the backs of people like you and The Rock and people like that, but at the same time they're pushing a weird agenda that's going to lose them their studios. Fill me in. How do they coexist with those two mindsets?
I don't. And Disney's even proven a point right now. They're going to lose over $1 billion this year in the box office. And they're getting their butts kicked on the latest with Indiana Jones. Who's the hero and big star in Indiana Jones? The woman is. I mean, they've sort of put him in the back burner back there. And it's weird to me. It's weird that they're going after men not to be men. And they've been doing it for a long, long time. Start with the whole feminist movement. Look, there's a room and place for everybody in this world. So, yes. I mean, to me, the stronger the man, the stronger the family, the stronger the community, the stronger the country. And we need our boys to become strong men who can lead their families and in their communities as well. And the Bible even calls for men to be providers. It doesn't take away from the women's equality. Women just simply have a different role in the family than men.
Right.
And it's been proven that when families stay together, there's a much stronger chance for the children to grow up much more, I guess, normal, for the lack of something else. But
right.
It's just crazy what we're doing out there right now and trying to wimp out men, because you mentioned these movies, but the reality is a lot of these movies is the women out there kicking butt and doing all the work. I don't buy it. I don't buy that you have to have women saving the world. I think like I said, there's a great place for women. I love women. I'm nothing against women,
yeah.
But what they're doing right now is I know. I'm trying to tell people to stay more vigilant in what they have their children see and what movies they go out to, and they should support films that align with their values instead. And you look at actors like Taylor Kitsch and Mark Wahlberg. These guys are sick of the woke world, and these guys are coming up and being very vocal, like I am, about the place of what kind of movies should be out there, the kind of movies that need to be seen by people. And I love what they're doing, and I think it's great that they're coming out of their shells, because every movie I've been doing the last 7 8 years, I always get somebody coming up and saying, "Hey man, thanks for being a voice for us." And I go, "Well, be a voice for yourself. Why do
Yeah.
I got to wake up the lions?" But that's what I'm here for. The sheep are going to be sheep, as you know, but we need people. That silent majority we talk about every year needs to wake up even more.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being the hero of your family. I've got a wife and 5 daughters, and you want to be the protector, you want to be the hero, you want to be the provider, the hunter gatherer. And look, I suck at nurturing. She's great at that. There are things that men and women do inherently, given by God, that we're trying to deny. So, and it's Kevin Sorbo. For those who are listening, go to bravebooks.us, get this book. It's called The Test of Lionhood. Kevin, in your heart of hearts, maybe you haven't spent any time on this. Maybe you have. Have you and Sam talked about it? Maybe. Why is Hollywood doing this? Why emasculate men? Why feminize men? And then at the same time support men that are taking opportunities from women as they pretend they're women? Do you have any idea why they're doing it?
I think it's on purpose. I think they've been doing it for a long, long time. Like I said, they're not ashamed or afraid to be open about it now. They just want to do it. And I wish I could understand, but I think it comes down to control. You see it going on our public education system, how horrible it is. I mean, one of the blessings of COVID is that 2 million more families saw how crappy our public schools are, and realizing using it as a babysitting service for their kids is a waste of time. So they took them out. So 2 million more families are now homeschooling. We're homeschool advocates, as you know. My wife traveled the country speaking about it. It's got a number of books on it. We got a battle on our hands. We got to wake people up. Everything the government get their hands on, it's horrible. One of my favorite Ronald Reagan quotes is, "These are the words to fear the most. Hi, I'm from the government, and I'm here to help."
Exactly right. Yeah, and that's what blows my mind. People, that's only 40 years ago. People don't even know about that, which is amazing to me. And there's a concerted effort, I believe, in government, in big tech, big media, big Hollywood, big sports, big everything, to pretend like that never happened. Ronald Reagan was successful because he was a manly man that basically walked slowly, carried a big stick, and had a funny story to tell every once in a while. But when he sat down with Gorbachev, what happened? When he sat down with the world leaders who wanted to be bad, they decided we better not be bad with this guy. It was easy with Jimmy Carter. It's easy now with Biden. Wasn't easy with Trump. Wasn't easy with Reagan. How do we get back to that mentality? Because you see how they're vilifying a guy like Trump. I mean, they're vilifying a guy like you, a guy who is big, loud, and not afraid to be a man. How do we defeat it?
Well, I look at a confused generation of men are much easier to control.
Yes.
Than men that believe in truth, and that are seeking more men to be people of truth, because Hollywood struggles with the truth, which is why they hate somebody like me, because I'm a conservative and a Christian. I'm not afraid to speak out. I got taken on my Facebook 2.5 years ago for posting the truth. They hate the truth. I posted on Twitter about a year ago, I need more conspiracy theories because all of mine supposedly conspiracy theories came true.
I saw that.
Yeah, but they won't let me back on right now on Facebook, which is just amazing to me. We need people just to wake up. There's always going to be roadblocks in life, and so many people in this world right now, they just give up. One failure is enough for them to go over the edge and become Antifa members and be angry at the world and attack everybody else for their failure. And we need people to fight back and not be afraid to make mistakes and not be afraid to fall down. The truth, the trick is to get back up.
Yeah.
And work really hard. That's one thing my dad taught all 5 of us kids. I'm the fourth of there's 4 boys and my sister in the middle. And my dad was a very, he ruled the hand with I said soft thunder hands is what I used to say my dad was like, and he was hugely influential on me. And the movies I grew up with, like you grew up with, you're watching these movies with Paul Newman and Robert Redford and all. There are a lot of men in those things, And in today's world, we're teaching kids through education. It starts at Lowe's public schools. The trouble is all these public school teachers now went through that brainwashing. I never had that. You probably never had that either in school.
I didn't.
Teachers taught the subjects they were taught. Today, it's crazy, Bill. If you're a math teacher, you're showing a transgender film in your classroom. What does that have to do with math? It's just
I couldn't agree more. My father could just look at me, Kevin. Just a look, and I was done whatever the hell I was doing. I wasn't doing that again because I got the look. Or my mother would say, "I'm going to tell your father," and that seems to be a lost art now. And I don't get how we get that back when we've got Hollywood and I'm not gonna say specific people, but you know who these people are raising their boys to be girls. They're making them trans at 3 years old, and then they're bragging about it. Well, I've got one son who's a non-binary. I've got one who's gender fluid. I've got one who's pansexual. The hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
And we always got sort of our ideas outside of the house from Hollywood. We go and see a movie, and we would see. Remember when smoking was cool? Then smoking wasn't cool because Hollywood stopped smoking. I mean, Hollywood really doesn't have that kind of impact. I just don't know why they would want to make it such a negative impact and take the power away from the people. It used to empower us to go see a movie. It doesn't anymore.
Yeah. Well, Walt Disney said it back in the 1950s that movies and television will influence our youth. Well, hello. Take a look at what's going on out there. Look, I do movies that Hollywood used to do. I do movies about love and hope and faith, redemption, laughter, those kind of movies. My latest Left Behind, Rise of the Antichrist, was in theaters in January and February. I got one coming out in October. I hope people go to sorbostudios.com. That's sorbostudios.com. Check it out. It's called Miracle in East Texas, a true story set in 1930, and we're going to be on theaters at the end of October, October 29th. They open in theaters. You can buy tickets right now. It's a great PG movie. True movie based in the 1930s about the largest oil find in the history of the world that won 10 film festivals, ranging from judges' favorite, audience favorite, best romantic comedy. It's a wonderful true story that your whole family can go see.
The children's book is out now. It's called The Test of Lion. It actually will be out this Friday. It is Kevin Sorbo. Go to bravebooks.us, bravebooks.us. You want to see more about that movie, miracleineasttexas.com. We know the book is about empowering young men to actually become men and take that role on and be serious about it and live your life that way. What is the movie about? Is this a true story, Miracle in East Texas?
Miracle in East Texas is a true story, and it's about two con men that went through Oklahoma and Texas wooing widows out of their money in fake oil wells.
Wow.
They would sell 500% of the shares, declare a dry hole, and move on. Well, in Kilgore, Texas, they strike oil. Not giving anything away. It's in the title, Miracle in East Texas, but it's the largest oil fund in the history of the world, right in the heart of the Depression. And it's a wonderful, feel-good movie. People will love it. John Ratzenberger's in it. He's amazing. Lou Gossett Jr., Tyler Main, my wife's in it. It's just a wonderful, wonderful movie that people will love. And for the book, the Test of Lionhood, it's a story about this lion cub out with his two younger sisters, and his youngest sister gets cut by this flower that's a very dangerous flower, and he knows that he can't get back in time. He knows the antidote is up in the top of the mountain, so he's got to take it upon himself from the lessons he learned about being a man at a young age from his father, that he's afraid, but he knows he's got no chance to get back to his dad to get back to get the antidote. So he has to brave the mountain himself and go through all these different obstacles and really fight his own fear. And that's what this book is about. It's a lot learning about being a man, and it's learning about being a man growing up as a boy. And it's a wonderful story for kids. And it's really in that under 12-year-old bracket that Brave Books really reaches out to. It's wonderful what they're doing. And sign up at the Freedom Island Book Club as well, and you get a new book every month.
Go to bravebooks.us, bravebooks.us. Get this book. It's called The Test of Lionhood. I've got to ask you about Hollywood doing all these remakes or reboots, whatever they're calling them today. Every single time they do it, they've got to take away the sort of the moralistic plot. The plot is sort of gone. Let's make it in a woke world because they think that's going to sell. It isn't. And as you said, Disney's going to lose $1 billion, which good for them. I mean, maybe you should go back to making really good movies. But I wonder, why can't they just make original content? Why do they have to take something old, something that's already been done? It's been done very right. But now we've got to redo it, and Tinkerbell's got to be ethnic, or some other star or some other lead has to be, this other gender. And for God's sakes, we've got cartoon characters that are transsexual now. Why do they have to ruin what we know is really good? But just make something new.
Joe, I can't disagree with you at all. I mean, it's weird that they can't be original. It's saying exactly what I'm saying. They're taking these stories that were so near and dear to the hearts of people for generations growing up. And I think what they're trying to do is cash on that value, but then put in their values into what we grew up with. And why they can't be original, they want to do a transgender movie, do a transgender movie. But then put it in, make up your own story. Why are they changing the characters is the only thing I can come up with, is they're just hoping that the familiar title will bring mom and dad to take their kids into it, but they want to shove their agenda down your throat at the same time. And it's just sad to me. I mean, have a movie like that, fine. But they're seeing that it's a losing cause. I mean, you look at, Hollywood and Disney are doing the same mistake what they did with, say, Bud Light and Target, right?
Yes,
They sit
exactly.
there and they betrayed their audience. They betrayed their faithful audience and put in this whole different thing that people got used to this product for decades. And look at the kickback they're having right now. I mean, they've lost billions of dollars. And I saw a lawsuit now. Somebody got filed this. Somebody's like on the financial board of Target, or maybe it was Anheuser-Busch or whatever. They're suing them, saying, you know what, you should let us know you're going to do this, because I probably would have sold my stock before you did it.
That's actually a very good lawsuit. I hope they win. It's Kevin Sorbo. Go to, you said sorbostudios.com?
SorboStudios.com has everything. My wife's stuff, my stuff. It's got information. You can see the trailer from Miracle in Texas. Find out more information on Brave Books. Everything's right there.
One last quick question for K-Sorbs. I told my news anchor I would call you K-Sorbs during the interview.
That's where they can find me on Twitter. It's K-Sorbs.
She said there's no way you'll call him that. Anyway, the last question I've got is pretty simple, and I think the answer is no, but I wonder if it's changed since last time we spoke. Are you hearing from anybody in Hollywood who's saying, hey, Kevin, look how successful you are without us. Come back and do some stuff with us. Is anybody smart enough to realize how successful you are now that you walked away to ask you to come back?
It's interesting. I did a movie called Let There Be Light that Sean Hannity funded. My wife wrote it, and Dan Gordon did the rewrite on it. I directed it. It was highly successful. In fact, here's a $3 million movie up against a $300 million Thor Ragnarok movie that same weekend. We were open on the same day.
Right.
We were number 2 per screen average. I get a call from Netflix saying, hey, we want to meet with you. We want to open an inspirational division and have you be part of it. And I said, sure. I had 4 meetings with them over a couple months, and eventually nothing happened. I've got wonderful scripts, wonderful stories that are family movies. They're not like in-your-face faith things. They're just good family movies that Disney used to do. And eventually they end up not doing anything because their ideology is so filled with hate and anger.
Yes.
That's what they operate. The left operates. They claim they're for love and all that. I laughed during the COVID thing because they're the ones that for years, you go back to the 60s when the hippies and a revolution of fighting back to, we got to fight the man. Well, here, the man was the government, right? Now,
yes.
The government now says, take 4 jabs and put on 7 masks and stay 6 feet apart. And they got mad at anybody who didn't do that. I'm going, when did the left flip like that to follow everything the government said? Like the government is the gospel and truthful. It's everything turned upside down. It's a very strange world we're living in.
Well, Netflix should have done that. They know that it would have been profitable to do that, but somebody caught wind of it and said we can't do it.
There's 80 million homes out there that want the kind of movies that I'm doing.
Exactly right.
Why wouldn't you want to cash in on that? Is your hate that big towards people that have a different point of view? It's weird to me because I don't harbor that anger towards them.
Those on our side don't feel that way. It's only the other side that is filled with hate. Then they try to cast it upon us. Kevin Sorbo, go to sorbostudios.com, go to miracleinEastTexas.com or bravebooks.us. Kevin, thanks a million. Come back again soon, brother.
I'd love to. Thank you, sir. Have a great week.
You too. We're back after this. Stay right here.